parents, family members, and friends to the graduation of the class of 2017. Tonight, we all gather to honor the great accomplishments of the students before you. Please stand and join me with Senior Class Vice President Adam James as he leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Gentlemen, please remove your caps.
Seniors, please rise. Remove your gowns. Caps. I'm sorry. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Please be seated. I first met this young lady at a new student group meeting this past fall. She has an infectious smile and a passion for service. I am pleased to introduce to you our salutatorian for the class of 2017, Xiujian Das. When I asked Xiujian what she wanted me to share with you this evening, her eyes lit up and she said, "Everyone knows that I take some really hard classes. What they don't know is that I value what I've accomplished outside of my academic work." Xiujian values service, particularly around the rights of women and young girls. As a sophomore, Xiujian, with several young women from Cincinnati, organized a benefit for the Malala Fund. The Malala Fund seeks to help provide 12 years of quality education for every girl around the world. Xiujian and her peers raised $10,000 for the organization. Xiujian soon turned her efforts to improving the educational experience of young people in Cincinnati. She began to volunteer at the Madisonville Education and Assistance Center. It was through her volunteer work at Meek, tutoring children in reading, that Xiujian truly understood the value of her own education. She formed bonds with children that she says changed her life. Xiujian has many interests outside of her volunteer and academic work. She enjoys the arts, and she hopes that all students don't just do school, but experience everything education has to offer. Xiujian believes through her experiences that she can have a conversation with anyone, and the relationships she has developed are personal and real. Xiujian will take her talents and passions to the Big Apple, where she will attend New York University to study global public health and applied psychology. Please welcome to the podium our salutatorian, Xiujian Das.
On behalf of the class of 2017, I would like to introduce the special guests who are joining us this evening. On the risers behind me are members of the Board of Education, Dr. Eddie Hooker, Mrs. Nancy Aichholz, Mr. Lyle Fiore, Mrs. Elizabeth Johnston, and Mrs. Kim Martin-Lewis. Also, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Mark Miles, Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Mark Alt, Director of Pupil Services, Dr. Tracy Quattrone, District Treasurer, Mr. Mick Davis, and Director of Technology, Mrs. Arlene Piquet. From the primary school, Principal Mr. Jim Nichols. From the elementary school, Principal Dr. Melissa Stewart. From the middle school, Assistant Principal Michael Voinovich. From the high school, Principal Mrs. Karen Bear. Assistant Principal Mrs. Chrissy Otten. Director of Athletics, Mr. Jeff Sidhraj. And finally, the outstanding faculty and staff of Indian Hill High School. Thank you all for being here to share this evening with us. Now will everyone please rise and join with our talented high school concert band in the singing of our national anthem. Please remove your hats.
Please be seated. When I sat down to talk with our valedictorian about this introduction, her response was, "I think you should ask people what they think of me." So I took the challenge and asked her peers and teachers to give me one word that describes Layla Al-Zubi. Here are the results of my research. Layla is described as being busy, coachable, fearless, motivated, intelligent, caring, giving, funny, persistent, humble, witty, resilient, and sincere. How can one person be all of these things? Layla shared with me her very personal story of attending 9 different schools in 3 different states over the course of her educational career. She worked very hard to overcome being shy. The shyness came from being new to the United States, always having to make new friends with each move, being told by her teachers that she would have trouble learning English, and being judged by her peers. Layla believes the first time her talents and abilities were affirmed was when she came to Indian Hill Schools in 7th grade. She told me that here was the first time her teachers believed in her. Because of her experiences, Layla has developed a natural curiosity. If she doesn't know a topic, she will research and ask questions. Layla is persistent. If she sets a goal, she will work tirelessly to see that it is accomplished. Layla speaks up when she sees an injustice. She lends her friends an ear if they need someone to listen. Layla seeks to include people who are excluded because she knows what it's like to be on the outside. Layla feels blessed to have been given the opportunity to attend Indian Hill Schools. It is here that Layla was prepared for the future and learned to be comfortable with who she is. Layla's life motto is "Do good." Much of her volunteer work she does anonymously. She says it's more special to her that way. Layla told me that her life would be complete if she could give just one child in need the same opportunities she has had. Layla does not take her education for granted. She hopes her classmates remember how she made them feel, and because of that, that's important. In the fall, Layla will take her bubbly personality and talents to Johns Hopkins University. Please welcome to the podium our 2017 valedictorian, Layla Al-Zubi.
Ladies, gentlemen, duty, please turn on all cellular or recording devices. You may upload the speech on social media using the hashtag #BestValedictorianSpeechEver. Flash photography is encouraged and pictures are welcome from all angles, as I am what National Geographic says, as close to humanly perfect as possible. The following speech is not rated, so please listen at your own risk. IH class of 2017, welcome to your speech. Let's go back to freshman year when we entered high school. The majority of us were naive, innocent children. However, that was shattered when Mrs. Coltis broke to us that pickles, blueberries, and donuts mean more than what they are in Ethan Frome. And sophomore year, just like the middle child, was forgotten. And junior year, just as we were getting comfortable with ourselves, they threw us into the cages of ACT and SAT. Senior year, we tested our teachers' patience with senioritis. In English, Mr. Witt and Mrs. McFarland said, "You can never watch the movie without reading the book." And to that we responded, "Challenge accepted." You know, I admire those teachers who were able to carry on knowing that their entire class was just about to fail the AP exam. But thank you, educators and counselors, CDOG, for helping us, and your help was great, you know, whatever, Mr. Saeed. Over the past 4 years, we learned that pain is temporary, but your GPA is forever. But do not worry, because after 4 years of stress, we were more than prepared for our futures, because we graduate knowing that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. But let us not dwell in the past, let us look to the future. It is ever so often that we are handed a blank canvas. And tonight we will be handed our paintbrushes, each day being a new brushstroke. And sometimes the paint might spill, and that's okay because it's what you make of the painting next that counts. 11 years ago, if you told me I would be the valedictorian of one of the top schools in the nation, I would have nodded my head, understanding nothing of what you had just said. I knew the bare minimum amount of English. You know, for a long time, people thought I was from Georgia because I could not correct them. They'd be like, "You're from Georgia." And I'd be like, No, Jordan. And so they'd be like, "Georgia?" So eventually I just accepted the fact that I was from Georgia. And then as a young child, my second grade teacher told my parents that I would not be smart. She said that I couldn't grasp English and that it would always set me back, and my report card validated her words. I had straight D's. I vividly remember crying on the small kitchen table in our townhome. My parents had sacrificed so much for us, and I didn't want to disappoint them. Thank you, parents. So I wasn't going to give up now, so I told myself the only way now to go is up. And I was lucky enough to have a Sara Al-Zubi to push me to my limits. And from this I learned, do not let others hold you back. The only barrier between you and your dreams is yourself, and maybe student loans. Moreover, at the age of 13, I watched my mother almost get run over by her neighbor, who did not support the fact that we were Muslims. I was baffled at how my peaceful religion could incite such unwarranted hatred from someone else. My innocence, my security bubble shattered that day, and I had thought the world was a place full of butterflies and love, but the awful truth reared its ugly head and raised my consciousness and understanding to a new and terribly disturbing level. But instead of letting fear consummate her, my mother persisted, and that is why she will forever be the strongest female role model in my life. Thank you, Mom. Bahibbek. So when I was bullied growing up for being Muslim, I persisted. And when I was told I would not be smart, I persisted. And when I was told no, I persisted. I ask of you, class of 2017, to persist and to excel, and to not let anyone underrate you. You are your own dictionary. Define yourself, and do not let society do it for you. So at this point, you guys are probably thinking, when is the speech going to end? There's still 5 more pages, so please take out your pillows. Class of 2017, in the future, you will be given advice. Do not take it, and do not give it. So here's my advice anyways. Number 1, question everything and research everything. Do not succumb to the hashtag fake news. Sit, learn, develop your own thoughts. Or like Aya Al-Zubi says, do not be a rock. Number 2, you have your own timeline. Do not rush it. Number 3, it's okay to fail and make mistakes. It's part of what makes us humans. And to be honest, if you make mistakes and no one comes back from the future to stop you from doing it, then how bad of a decision can it really be? Number 4, get out of the bubble. And I cannot stress this enough. There is a world beyond Indian Hill, and it's not just Kenwood, Madeira, or Marymount. Number 5, be good and do good. You are what you do and not what you say. I will leave you with this. اصبروا لأن المكتوب منكم مكتوب من أحسن الكاتبين. Class of 2017, be patient, for what was written for you was written by the greatest of writers. Thank you.
Thank you, Layla. At this time, I would like to bring back to the podium Shahini Das.
Indian Hill High School has established many rich traditions in its more than 60-year history. One of those traditions, which is performed each year at graduation, is a symbolic passing of leadership from the exiting senior class to the next senior class. Leadership is the responsibility of the class officers who are elected by their classmates. Would the senior class officers for both the class of 2017 and the class of 2018 please come forward at this time? President Pablo Guzman Gomez passes the symbol of leadership to Georgia Kennedy, accepting for the 2018 class president, Gabriel Salvato. Vice President Adam James passes the leadership candle to the new class of 2018 Vice President Alex Major. Secretary Sara Zambakili passes the leadership candle to the new 2018 class secretary Blair Hassett. And Treasurer Ben Mendelsohn passes the leadership candle to the new class of 2018 Treasurer Maximilian Eihausen. Thank you all very much. Now I'm pleased to introduce once again our principal, Mrs. Baer.
Good evening, graduates, families, friends, distinguished guests, and colleagues. It is my honor to address you this evening. Graduates, I would like to take a moment to personally thank those who have helped you in reaching this milestone we celebrate tonight. Your parents have been with you every step of the way, providing you with guidance, encouragement, and unconditional love. Parents deserve a big thank you for helping organize the events of Senior Week, as well as supporting many other activities you have enjoyed during your high school career. We value our parents as partners in providing unique experiences for our students. Thank you, parents. I would also like to thank the staff of Indian Hill Schools. While your high school teachers celebrate this occasion, it is really an effort that extends to the very first day many of you entered the primary school. Your path to success is paved by a culmination of efforts from all staff members who encouraged you along the way. I would like to extend a special thanks to the high school staff. There's not a better group of people to help prepare you for what comes next in life. Thank you. And graduates, I would like to thank you for your leadership and hard work. You have certainly set a high bar for the Braves following in your footsteps. You really made this year easy. I was continually impressed by the passion you had for your learning and your desire to exemplify the pillars of excellence, opportunity, pride, leadership, integrity, and respect. Thank you. As I contemplated the message I wanted to share with you this evening, I was drawn to a poem that was given to me in a transition in my life. It is titled "The Dash" by Linda Ellis. The idea behind the poem is that your life begins with a year and ends with a year. Eventually, all that is known about you by most people are those numbers. Ellis goes on to say what really matters in a person's life is the dash between the beginning and the end. As I reflected on this idea of the dash, I began to think of all the dashes that could exist in one's life. One dash represents your time at Indian Hill Schools. Your high school dash is filled with memories of all the things you experienced as Braves, and you have been some busy people. In recent weeks, I've watched many of you be recognized for academic excellence. I watched you perform in musical programs. I watched you compete in athletic events. I watched as you organized and enjoyed Music Fest, and I might have even seen you bring a dog or two to school. As your time here comes to a close and you leave Tomahawk Stadium as graduates, remember the dash that represents Indian Hill High School is special. Look around you. Remember the friendships you developed, the learning that challenged you, and the excitement that you felt when you entered this school for the first time. These memories, however, do not need to define who you are. You have many dashes ahead. Look at future dashes as opportunities. As Ella says in her poem, what matters is how much we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you would like to change? Your next dash is a chance to think about the way you live your life. Will you live your life to the fullest? Will you open the doors that are presented to you? Will you be a little kinder, smile a little more, and show more compassion? Will you celebrate your successes and learn from your mistakes? The answers to these questions are up to you. I can't wait to see what the future holds as you begin to follow your dreams. I do know this: you are a remarkable and talented group of young people, and I was so fortunate to spend this year with you. Remember this day as the beginning of your next dash, but never forget, you are and always will be Braves. Congratulations. And now, Dr. Miles, members of the Board of Education, I am pleased to present for graduation the class of 2017. At this time, I would like to ask our school counselors, Mrs. Cottrell, Mr. Crowley, Ms. Kearns, and Ms. Jackson, to come forward and read the roll of graduates.
Layla Abdallah Al-Zubi. Shohini Das. Milan Sidhraj Bhandari. Sara Theresa Borden. Samuel David Braverman. Brendan Liam Ho. Peter Charles Klekamp. Luca Marco Lavezzo. Tucker Scott McMullen. Hannah Lesley Powell. Sara Lauren Alexander. Dawson David Aichholz. Hannah Hadam Ali. Reed Jonathan Aichholz. Allison Kaylee Anderson. Anthony Artis II. Victoria Hague Atkinson. Justin Henry Bader. Bailey Ann Bathalter. Peter Charles Bansil. Emma Christine Bell. David John Barrow. Elizabeth Grace Bodie. Daniel Patrick Becker. Ava Grace Bollinger. Gabriel Augustus Belk. Margot Gayle Brunette. Jack Harrison Blount. Kenya Simone Kennedy. Grace Marguerite Kale. Emily Marie Kokolak. Ian Michael Book. Graciela Marie Crank. Jared Thomas Berger. Kayla Madison Crawford. Justin Maxwell Berger. Elise Barbara DeHamill. Winston Rhodes Kane. Caitlin Sahari Durr. Franklin Paul Cassidy.
Constance Theresa Farrell. Cameron Cyrus Fereshtaku. Karen Marie Foles. Alexander Bashara David. Gabrielle Elizabeth Froelich. Matthew Thomas Duncan. Callie Morgan Gibbons. Mitchell Farlow Epke. Sonia Alexandria Marie Gibbs. Michael Edward Don. Shahani Gunawardena. Mateo John Fiore. Amalia Maria Guzman Gomez. Ryan Douglas Fixler. Mary Helen Hall. Jackson Nicholas Forbes. Lillian Elaine Hinckley. Benjamin Joel Friedberg. Mary Kathleen Jutzi. Aiden John Gallagher. Haley Marie Curting. Andrew Jacob Garcia. Jennifer Jacqueline Krimchek. John Anthony Gianantonio III. Liliana Quitney Lance. Austin Tyler Geyer. Samantha Lucia Lee. Patrick Joseph Giroux. Gretchen Amanda Leschek. Kyle William Gould. Sarah Shinshin Liu. Ian Miguel Bowie Grace. Haley Magenheim. Keith Howard Hammond. Olivia Michelle Morocco. Chandler William Harris. Leah Rachel Matthews. Matthew Connor Hayes. Daphne Jane McLaughlin. Devin Patrick Heffernan. Hannah Alexis Mendelson. Edmund Cottrell Hooker. Sydney Marie Miles. Kyle Wong. Elizabeth Lauren Mukai. Zarian Zier Hunter Cure. Gabrielle Orr.
Shangwan Ryu. Nicholas Saba. Mernal Singh. Pablo Guzman Gomez. Adam Reed James. Sarah Jasmine Zamvakili. Benjamin Ryan Mendelson. Sarah Taylor Price. Jack Douglas Johnson. Zoe Ann Rapkin. Ahmed Kais. Sarah Ann Radway. Miles Grantham Kendrick. Hannah Elizabeth Ragnoni. Joshua Michael Lang. Jessica Samarco. Nicholas Anthony Leggio. Karen Christine Plummer. Andrew Jason Leong. Rachel Ruding Ma. Justin Michael Lewis. Elena Christine Schub. Cristiano de Freitas Lima. Emily Jordan Schlissel. Cameron James Lucky. Robin Renee Schumacher. Thomas Arthur Lundberg. Nella Ann Schwanekamp. Benjamin Robert Mandelbrot. Christina Carew Shannon. Daniel Matthew Markowitz. Catherine Beatrice Sharp. Richard Aiden McDonough. Logan Arlia Shelton. Dorian Antonio Magruder. Catherine Rose Sullivan. Colin Andrew McQuinn. Zoe Lynn Taft. Gregory Michael Nevins. Stephanie Adele Tranter.
Calvin Chang O'Brien. Kenzie K. Barati. Jonathan Parker Osterhus. Laura Claire Waltman. Cameron James Owen. Haley Elizabeth Ward. Joseph Maxwell Peters. Ellen Flora Wisner. Easton Joshua Phillips. Brooke Yeager. Warren Charles Ponticos. Alexander Jacob Prigel. Cameron Dwayne Piles. Karthik Sharon Raturi. Charles Tillman Tashin Road. Benjamin Joel Ringer. Austin Gregory Rowe. Anthony Corrado Sartorelli. Benjamin Patrick Simrad. Jack Marlin Seedling. Benjamin David Singer. Dylan Michael Lee Smith. Matthew Nyberg Sorensen. Duke Albert Steiner. Jackson Donald Sturwald. Patrick Hughes Swain. Maximilian John Sweeney. Owen James Taylor. Stephen William Tracy. Colton Allen Volk. Benjamin Paul Worsler. Maxwell Waters Round. Matthew Ryan Weisfelder. Noah Andrew Wenker. William Thomas Bradley Wenker. Tarek Fraser Whittam. Benjamin James Worthland. Evan Garrett Youngblood. Jordan Lucas Johnson. Mark Thomas Lockwood. Taylor Shy Hall. Matthew Joseph Niehaus. Brian Riley Watts.
Thank you, members of the Board of Education. On behalf of the class of 2017, I proudly accept these diplomas. Seniors, please stand at this time. Seniors, please move your tassel from the right to the left to symbolize that we have graduated. Seniors, please be seated. And now I would like to introduce the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Mark Miles.
Students, faculty, staff, members of the Board of Education, family, friends, and alumni, it is certainly a privilege to stand before you on this extraordinary evening. Fantastic weather. I don't know how we do it each and every year. Members of the class of 2017, you are to be congratulated for achieving a significant milestone. This is your high school graduation. Your 13-year journey through K-12 education has reached its conclusion. We are so proud of your resilience, your teamwork, and your commitment in our classrooms, on the stage, on the field, and in our community. You have certainly upheld our district's tradition of excellence in academics, arts, athletics, and yes, beach balls at graduation. I am confident that your resilience, teamwork, and commitment will extend well into the future. I encourage you to be prepared for the expected and the unexpected, because magical opportunities await. As Idowu Koyenikan reminds us, opportunity does not waste time with those who are unprepared. So prepare, my friends, and grasp the opportunities when presented. On behalf of our faculty, staff, and Board of Education, class of 2017, I extend my best wishes for continued success and look forward to hearing about your magical adventures one day soon. Remember, we are and always will be
I would like to thank our guests for attending our celebration this evening. Faculty, would you please lead the recessional?
David Wagon, Khakis.